minutes when we're ready to vote. He's working. Anthony is not picking up.
You're
We need
on.
a fourth person, correct?
That's correct. And how is he doing this?
He's gonna join us on FaceTime. NICOM said that we could Skype.
Oh, good. You're on.
Let's just go over everything and then we'll give Bob a synopsis, because we actually have to, we'll have to step outside to get the right signal.
Oh, okay.
Bob, that's all we have to do. That, or we reconvene, the four of us, we do everything, we reconvene tonight with Anthony and Bob. It's up to you. But we can do all the meat right now. He needs to get going on this. But officially, to make it move, we have to have 4, not 3. Okay, so let's go through the information, and then I'll inform Bob, and then we'll have Bob participate in the vote. And if we can't get a full, if he's not communicating, then we'll have to meet tonight. We do what we do to make the money.
Okay, I'll go over both projects, right? The first project is a water replacement project, water main and some pumps at the water filtration plant. Right? The pumps at the water filtration plant are 2 backwash pumps and 2 house pumps that pump all your recycled water. And in addition to it, this is to replace your chemical feeds. The total of that is approximately $450,000. All right. The total project is $3,444,495. The balance of it is to replace the 4-inch tuberculated or corroded water mains on the Onadora Park and Satterley Grove. Right? We're going to replace all the mains there, almost with 6,300 lineal feet. The cost is very expensive. Kevin and I discussed it because there's a lot of rock. Right? In addition to that, we have 20% contingency fees, we have bond fees, we have local council fees, we have my fees, and there's an issuance fee of over $100,000 for the EFC. It's about 3%. All right. Now, of this $3,444,495, we're requesting a $2 million grant. Right, because 60% is allowed under the grant. In this case, the 60% comes to like $2,012,000. So we're paying just a little bit more. The local portion of it, which is over $1,450,000, give or take, will be put through under a 0 to 2% loan over 40 years with the Environmental Facility Corporation.
Over 40 years?
40 years.
Up to, wow.
Yeah. Now, that's all subject. They may go 30 or 40, but we're requesting and we're hoping for 40. So that's a really good program, right? And towards that end, we have done a bunch of resolutions that we need to do. One is lead agency for seeker. The other is a negative declaration for seeker. We've developed long form EAFs, which are in Gina's computer now that we can review at your convenience. In addition to that, there's another resolution authorizing the mayor to sign any and all documents that are required. I brought some documents that I need signed for the grant, and we have to seal them, but along the way there'll be several signatures that are required. We also have requested sign-offs by the Historic Preservation. They're en route now, and hopefully we'll get them by the time we have to submit these. If not, we can just submit the documentation that we've done that. So that is project number 1, right? Now, project number 2 is a raw water transmission line from Bog Meadow and Jim's Pond. An 18-inch ductile iron pipe that is going to go along the existing stream bed and direct these flows into the water filtration plant through the 9W reservoir. In addition to that, one of the other aspects of it that Kevin had concern about was that if we enclose that stream bed, that he's losing some safe yield. So we're gonna continue to have that stream bed open and go into the 9W reservoir so that we can, properly treat it. And those are some of the details that we have to work out. This part of the program is $3,313,280, of which, I'm not gonna give you the exact number, but 1.987 so close to 2 million is grant eligible, and the balance, which would be, about 1.4, give or take, would be, again, a low interest or zero interest loan from the EFC over 30 or 40 years. These documents also are going to include the same lead agency, negative deck, and authorization for the mayor to sign, just as they are two distinct separate grants. So that's it. There are bond council resolutions that were prepared by Hawkins, Delafield, Wood, your bond attorneys. I've been talking to Ed about it through this. Ed's preparing some information for me that hopefully he'll have, sometime today or tomorrow. That continues in the package, and the package is, going to be probably about 99% complete. I found that they are a little bit forgiving on that 1%, but, in the short period of time we've had to put this together, they're very easy people to work with, I found them to be anyway. Any questions?
The project coming from Bog Meadow to the plant, I realize we want to capture the additional water flow. If one of the points of doing this is to avoid the possible contamination from golf course pesticides and whatnot, if we allow the additional flow, is that still occurring?
What
I realize the levels are minimal, and that's why we're able to drink it right now. But we're trying to improve that.
What we're looking at as the details is we're gonna enclose that pipe, and after I've had some time to think about it, and I don't have the mechanics down yet, because we haven't done the hard engineering yet, but I would say that from, Bog Meadow and also from Jim's Pond, we'll take directly into the plant the pipe, so you don't have to be concerned about that.
I'll take the extra flow, but I'm saying let's say there was a spill, that's our other concern.
Right.
Let's say there's a spill on 293 or 9W that, affected the water. When we do this project, let's do it right, so that if I want to take the extra water, but if there's a problem, we can close that
It can be
water
isolated.
off and isolate it, so we're just taking that.
That's
That's
correct.
my concern, because that's the point of the project.
That's
The point of the
correct.
project is to
Well,
safer
well,
water.
What we're gonna do is have that available for you. That would continue down and
Perfect.
be held in the reservoir. The water would be piped directly into the plant from Bog Meadow and Jim's Pond. And that other water would be able to be treated, or in the case of a spill, reclaimed, or whatever needed to be done.
Okay.
Yeah. But, you could use that as your backup, so to speak.
Also, Mr. Mayor, we also have in our emergency plans for contingencies for emergencies for spills on 9W and 293 that we do have in place.
Do you need that? You don't need that for the grant, right? Okay.
We do have that.
Who will be doing the work for this? Sometimes.
For what now?
Who will be doing the work? Will the municipality be actually doing the work?
No,
or-
this is gonna go up competitive bid.
Okay, so then there'll be requirements for minority-owned businesses.
Oh, yeah,
and that
let
type of
let-
thing.
let me go through this too. This program has a lot of items that need to be addressed. And one of the things that we have is that the mayor, by doing this, is authorized to, sign documents related to WBE, Women's Business Enterprise, MBE, Minority Business Enterprise, EEO, which is Equal Opportunity Employment, Buy American, Ironworks, I ran Contra, Davis Bacon, Prevailing Wage, you know,
He's
the
not
whole,
I
you
know.
Yeah.
know, the whole thing. We're committed to all of that. Now, that does add significantly to the cost of the project, but it's, you know, minuscule in amount to a 60% grant. So this might add, you know, somewhere around 10% to the cost of the project, even though the WB and MBE stuff is like 26%, but you're getting service for that. You're not just giving people the money, you're giving it to them, but you're buying goods from minority or women business and things like that. So it's a little bit more expensive by doing it this way, a lot more paperwork, but, you know, we're familiar with it, and it's just a matter of course.
Just to confirm, because that was one of the questions Bob had, we're moving forward with this, but if at any point before we actually lock it down, we can back off and say that we only want to do this, this, and this. So we are not 100% committed to everything by passing these resolutions today. The passing of the resolutions is just so we can get the process started on all facets,
Exactly. What happens is
just so we know.
we submit this, and let's say after we've, you know, looked at this and whatnot, and, you know, we want to downgrade some portion of these projects, cut them in half, cut them by a third, or cut them out completely, you know? We have that right up until a closing. The way this works is we'll get a grant offer, a loan offer, and then they'll want volumes of information, you know, that we'll have to supply them with, that we've inferred in the applications and we've consolidated, but they want to see it, like they'll want the last 5 years of your audits, you know. They've had us take excerpts out of them, but they'll want 5 years of your audits. They'll want, you know, the water plant records, things of that nature. We have to, you know, go through all of this, and at some point, then they're satisfied with it. They do their own environmental review on top of what we've done for, you know, seeker. You know, they'll do another federal review, because I think there's some federal monies involved, and that usually gets done out of the governor's office. That gets, you know, all completed, and at some point, they say, okay, here's the deal. You know, we're gonna give you 60% of whatever we end up being as a project, and the interest rate is gonna be, you know, 0 for the balance, or up to a 30% subsidy, which would probably be about 2%. So that's how the program is gonna shake out. Now, any point up until that closing, you know, the board and the mayor have full control to say, all right, yeah, we don't wanna do this anymore.
Give me the total for Sally on again.
$3,444,495.
And Bog Meadow.
$3,313,280.
That's approximately $1 million on each that we're gonna cover, approximately.
You know, you're getting a $2 million grant on each one, so you're gonna cover $1.3 million and $1.4 million.
Then you got $450 on the work, which is already coming out of that grant for the water plant, right?
Right,
For
that's
the pumps.
correct. That's included in the
Right, I'm just like Pat now, since he's
$3,444,000.
putting down numbers.
Right.
Water plant pumps are $450,000 that comes out of that grant.
Right.
And the chemical feeds.
And, you know, ancillary work, those are good numbers, so there's room in there to, you know, if we need to do concrete work, you know, anything we need to upgrade, a little bigger pump, you know, a little more storage for the chemical feed. There's money in there to be able to, you know, do it real improvement.
So now we come to a voting point now?
Yes.
Is he on Skype or?
He will be once we go out here. I'm trying to find the actual resolution so that we're ready to go.
Can they do the seeker resolutions with a simple majority?
What's that?
He
Yes.
says
Okay,
those.
why don't we do that first?
All right, let's do this all simple majority first.
Yeah.
And that's these?
That's these that
Okay.
Al prepared. That's for one, and that's for the other.
And Gina has ones with, there were some typographical errors, and she has ones that, you know, are cleaner.
Yeah, I didn't, I don't.
This
have
one
those.
is for the water main work and the water plant work.
Okay, ready? Whereas the village board of the village of Highland Falls proposes to replace water distribution and the water filtration plant components. It is resolved that village engineers authorized to prepare the New York State Water Infrastructure Grant and a DWSRF grant application and submit to the New York State Department of Health and the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. And furthermore, Mayor Patrick Flynn is authorized to sign all documents in accordance with all grant requirements, including but not limited to WBE, MBE, EEO, Buy American, Ironworks, Davis-Bacon, etc. Roll call. Or do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a second.
Roll
Roll.
call, trustee Alward,
Yes.
trustee Murphy,
Yes.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye. And which one is this?
That's the same one. That's,
So we already did that.
no, you have to
You
do
have
all of
three.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the Village of Highland Falls is considering making an application to the New York State Environmental Facility Corporation Drinking Water Program for the installation of a raw water transmission main from the reservoir, and whereas the village has cause to have prepared a full environmental assessment form under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and whereas the village board has assumed lead agency status, and whereas the village board has taken and determined that the application process is to ministerial and a type 2 action. Thanks for that, Al, by the way.
You're welcome.
Couldn't have put something else in there. Now therefore, let it be resolved that the village board of the Village of Highland Falls determined, based on the information and analysis in the long form EAF and supporting documentation, that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, and further authorizes the supervisor, mayor, The
Yeah,
mayor.
there's an error. I said
to
there were some typos.
sign the seeker documents accordingly. The mayor to sign the seeker documents accordingly. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a
Second.
Roll call, trustee Alward,
Yes.
trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye.
There's another one here. We should have done a little first, but
This one?
that's okay. This one. You've read agency.
The Village of Highland Falls hereby declares itself lead agency as required by seeker. The Village Board has declared its intention to become lead agency on September 2nd, 2015. The Village of Highland Falls is the main agency involved and is undertaking the project. Therefore, the Village Board will be lead agency. The proposed action is a replacement of the water mains and replacement components of the water plant. Do I have a motion to accept lead agency for the village?
So moved.
Second? All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Roll call.
Oh, this is not a roll call.
Okay. Here's the next one, for the next project, the raw water line.
Whereas the village board of the Village of Highland Falls proposes to install a new 18-inch ductile iron raw water transmission line from Bog Meadow Dam to Jim's Pond to the water filtration plant, it is resolved that the village engineer is authorized to prepare a New York State Water Infiltration Grant and a DWSRF grant application and submit to the New York State Department of Health and the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation. And furthermore, that Mayor Patrick Flynn is authorized to sign all documents in accordance with all the grant requirements, including, but not limited to, WBE, MBE, EEO, Buy American, Ironworks, Davis-Bacon, etc. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I second it.
Roll call.
Roll call, trustee Alward,
Yes.
trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye. The Village of Highland Falls Board declares itself lead agency as required by seeker. The Village Board has declared its intention to become lead agency on August 26, 2015. The Village of Highland Falls is the main agency involved and is undertaking the project, therefore the Village Board will be lead agency. Proposed action includes the enclosure of the open trench at the West Point Golf Course and installation of a new 18-inch ductile ironworks raw transmission line from Bog Meadow Dam to Jim's Pond to the water filtration plant. Do we need a roll call on this, or is it a normal vote? All right, we'll do a roll call. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Roll call, trustee Alward,
Aye.
trustee Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye. At the meeting of the village board in the Village of Highland Falls, held on September 2nd, 2015. Following resolution was introduced. Whereas the Village of Highland Falls is considering making application to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation drinking water program for the water plant components and distribution system water mains. Whereas the village has caused through have prepared a full environmental assessment form under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and whereas the village board has assumed lead agency status, and whereas the village board has taken and determined that the application process is a ministerial and a type 2 action. Now therefore let it be resolved, the village board of the Village of Highland Falls determined based on the information and analysis in the long form EAF and supporting documentation that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, and further authorizes the mayor to sign the secret documentation accordingly. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second? Roll call.
Roll call, trustee Allard?
Aye.
Trustee Murphy?
That it?
Aye.
Mayor Flynn?
Aye.
Except these two.
These are the two we need
Bob
four
for
for.
those.
Okay. Okay,
Just out of curiosity, the pipe for the open trench has to be ductile iron?
It doesn't have to be, but that's the highest quality pipe. But we can switch it around.
Okay.
You know, we're saying that it's proposed to be ductal iron, because that's
The most expensive,
the
so,
most expensive, the strongest,
okay.
probably the most conducive to this overland.
Well, your environmental agency, I'm sure, is gonna have a say in that too, right? Or at least look at it.
They don't really care the plastic.
They
or
don't
the-
care? I'm shocked.
No, the plastic or the metal is, you know, because they're both, neither one of them really, it's not the type of pipe that rusts or anything of that nature. And the plastics have proven themselves also, so,
Okay.
you know, either one works out. I'm, you know, old school, so I go for the heavy stuff.
They typically don't get into that level of detail. You know, they'll have specifications that they were, you know, they want you to follow, but, you know, so long as the engineer
Right.
has good cause and uses reasonable materials.
Department of Health likes ductile iron.
Okay.
Promote that.
You guys are the professionals in this, I don't care from this one.
what actually has to be read here for the passing of it, not the entire thing?
I would read just that.
Just the top
because-
part?
Yeah, just because it's all gonna be published.
Okay, so
So
the
the
top
whole-
part here,
On each one.
and the top part here.
Mhm.
Okay. And that's a roll call vote?
Yes,
Good to go. Let's do this.
okay. And you're getting trustee Mellon on the line?
Good thing we have a roving camera.
Well, this,
I know, I'm just going outside, I would have dressed differently.
Are you coming out to hear this?
Sure. Please. Oh, you doing what?
You have to, because what comes down the stream is.
Well, it's also taking a long. Good job.
that was wrong.
Probably didn't have. Is it better if it's Skype or the same thing?
I read July on my calendar. I don't know what's going on with my computer, it says July. Are we on still?
You're in a meeting.
Okay, we'll go into exec for, because you were
Yeah.
whispering. We need to go into exec.
Well,
You're-
we can do it afterwards.
Okay.
You're in a meeting.
We are in a
You're in
meeting.
a
Brian?
meeting.
We just came back, we had to go outside because of service. We needed 4 people for the 2 motions that were to finalize the paperwork for the grants. Trustee Mellon FaceTimed in, we appreciate his help. And at this point, with no other business unless you want to do it during the meeting,
No, I just wondered if you wanted to open up for public since
Oh,
he was here. And
Public
I think
comment?
James Ramus was here, so.
public comment? No? If there is no other matter, I would ask for a motion to go into a quick exec to discuss personnel matter.
Move that.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Go ahead.
I,
I would suggest that the engineer remain.
Okay.
This
Can
will
I-
take
can I-
5 minutes.
Can I just, question, is the proposed water line, which is to protect the quality of the water, also capable of being used to provide power, hydroelectric?
It could be, yes. That's not part of the project, but it could be used for Mohead Hydro.
Thanks. Thank you.